welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who put a blood curse on me after I expressed my appreciation of the British office more than the American office. It's Sean Alvishar.
Total pretension, as you're called out.
So I've known Sean for years, and we were talking about The Office, and I watched The British Office in probably 2003, and I just have a love of it. I think I just enjoy it. I think it's great. But when I said it to you, you reminded me of Harlan Williams from There's Something About Mary, when Ben Stiller said, why don't you just make your abs 6-minute abs? And he starts shaking his head, and he starts going, and then you just yelled out no, and then you lit a fire, and then you started throwing bones into it, and I'm worried. I mean, what am I?
I am unhealthily obsessed with the American version of The Office. So that tick would be a very good explanation of my reaction to you saying something in any way, shape, or form denigrating the American version of The Office. So that's a good call, because I have an unhealthy relationship with Dwight Schrute. And
how many days do I have left to live? This blood curse looked pretty serious.
Yeah. Well, I would say you're okay for 2 more years, because that's when The Office goes off Netflix. So, so you got 2 more years of this.
I got to enjoy myself. I might have to go through a rewatch of The British Office to, know what's good.
Well, the good news is it only lasted 1 season, so it shouldn't take you long.
Well, 12 episodes, 2 specials, and a movie that's not good. So I'll leave off Life on the Road, but I'll do the first season, series, first series, second series, and then the Christmas special.
Okay.
I'll do those.
All right.
So,
and then we'll let's pick a place, and I'll meet up with you in 2021.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I won't have much time left, but
it'll be like the Attack Baby Driver. I'll meet you on that bridge when I get out of prison. Yeah.
Oh, what a great movie!
Come on, good reference. Your reference, that was a good one.
Baby Driver's legit.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
I love that movie.
Underrated.
So you were on our I was going to say Quantum of Solace
Get
pod.
It right. My other unhealthy obsession.
Yeah, so we brought you in on that. So, you're back in town, so I figured we would get back together and record another podcast.
I'm excited.
We kind of came up with a weird idea. We were talking about doing it again, and you sent me a list. You're like, hey, there's 80s comedies. David Fincher movies are great. You got another idea. I'm like, let's just do, since you and I are in a fantasy football league, and we've done this before in MFF, I said, let's draft a fantasy football team using only 1980s comedies and David Fincher movies. So, one caveat, when you hear the word comedies, just put it in air quotes. So they can be action comedy, horror comedy, Kramer vs. Kramer comedy, unintentional comedy, that kind of stuff. And then Fincher movies, anybody from Fincher movies.
Wait a minute. Kramer vs. Kramer is an unintentional comedy?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh, I thought it was a comedy.
I was laughing at it. Yeah, I mean,
there's nothing like a Porky's Kramer versus Kramer, double feature.
Well, Kramer vs. Kramer was originally written as a sequel to Porky's. See, what happened?
What happened? Did Porky die, and then they had to recast the whole thing? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they, a couple of the campers got married to some of the other campers, and they had some splitty mess ups, divorces, and they kind of rewrote it, which,
it did all right.
Yeah, it did all right. I mean, people still look at me weird when I laugh during the movie, but whatever. And then we're also using...
Oh, man, it's like that other hilarious one that you laugh at, Sophie's Choice.
Yeah, oh, gosh.
Man, I can't... It's almost like, dude, man, there's people in the audience. Calm down.
One time I slapped my knee so hard, I gave myself a Charlie horse. I mean, it hurt. And someone went... I did, legit. So, I'm still kind of... It's tough. Stairs are tough.
I'm just envisioning you in a theater of people crying, and you're just, laughing hysterically.
Make the choice already!
They're just your kids!
I would put that alongside Coal Miner's Daughter, A Star is Born, and...
or Judy Garland one.
Yeah, exactly. Not,
Not Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, no. Well, Chris Christopherson, I like that poster of him and Streisand, right?
But I heard a good... God, now we're just... You talk about non sequitur. We haven't even started the draft yet, but I heard a good thing about The Star Is Born about that movie, which was Barbara Streisand was too big a star to cast in that movie to be someone that came out of nowhere. You needed. Yeah. They said she was just too big a star in that. I mean, she could sing and her chops were there, but it was kind of hard for anyone to sit there and when they watched the movie going, this is Barbara Streisand. She's the biggest star in the world.
She's not performing in a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So where Lady Gaga, when you see her without her makeup and everything, it's almost like you don't even recognize her. So, but anyway, I digress.
So, we are not using Fincher Netflix shows because if we were, Wait, are we using? You said no. You said you weren't.
Oh,
well, I included people from there. Can we
Good,
use?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Because one of my
House of
pictures
Cards,
comes from yes,
and then there's Mindhunter.
yes.
Okay, good. Well, I have a guy from Mindhunter.
I know. Oh, okay. We've had this conversation.
So-
we don't know, but we think we know. Let's first. We are family. We are brother-in-laws, so we kind of know each other from that standpoint as family members. So we're also thinking about who the other person might be drafting. So we kind of have this little game going on. We haven't told each other anything, but
We're seeing if we can predict our first draft.
yeah.
So I'm going to go first.
You go first.
All right, so I'm going first, and my first draft is from a 1980s comedy, and I feel bad if you might not get this, but I'm drafting at linebacker Vigo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2.
Wow, I was wrong.
The painting. Now, the painting's about 10 foot tall,
Yes.
right?
Brilliant.
All right. And Vigo, if he's in the middle linebacker role, that quarterback's not going to see past him, right? He's going to clog up that hole. And if a running back goes through the middle, and Vigo can still grab him from the painting. So a 10-foot tall painting that can move laterally.
That is well done. That was not who I thought you were going to pick. I don't want to say it yet.
Oh, wait. I think I wrote down. Did you pick this kid? Was that the one?
No, he was on my short list of people I looked at, but he was not who I thought your first pick would be. So, but I'm going to keep that to myself to see if it comes up.
So that one's really out there.
No, but that's a good one.
And we're picking 6 each. 6
Right.
comedies, 6 that. Sorry for the disappointment, but I just thought about Vigo, the painting, as a middle linebacker. Imagine putting pads on him.
He would be a beast.
And that 10-foot tall painting, a quarterback's not going to see over him. Now, that might hurt the safeties and corners, right? But
yeah, he might be, like you want, as the draftniks talk about greasy hips and being that tall, he might be a little stiff, laterally. But his wingspan is going to make up for any sort of, stiff lateral movement. So I agree with you.
A 10-foot by 6-foot painting.
Yeah.
Like the quarterback, like Russell Wilson's going to have trouble.
Right.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Anybody would.
He's already 5'10".
Roethlisberger would have trouble seeing over that painting.
Exactly.
But that's my.
That was well
first.
done. That was well done. I didn't see that coming.
All right. So who's your Fincher first pick?
All right. So yeah, and so not only we're alternating just to make it a little more fun. The theme. So he started with 80s comedies, and then we'll go back forth between that and Fincher. I'll start with Fincher and then go to 80s comedies. This one was a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
So when I was thinking about this a little differently than you, and we didn't talk about this. I was thinking of the locker room. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was thinking about the chemistry in a locker room. When you put these people together, are they going to be able to work together? Are they going to be able to gel? Are they going to be able to execute? So under that premise, I wanted somebody that was just a true someone who knows how to prepare, someone who knows how to execute, somebody, if things go wrong, have the ability, like a Marine, to adapt, adjust, and improvise, and at the end of the day, win. Mm-hmm. And when you put that together, someone that the other people in that locker room are going to look to as a leader, my number one pick, without even a question, is Amy Dunn from Gone Girl.
Amy Dunn, Gone Girl.
Wow, well done.
Hey!
There was just no question in my mind, man. It was just, she is going to keep that locker room together.
Look at that. I knew it.
That was well done.
So I was in the truck today. We were driving here, and I was talking to my wife, Megan, who's been on the pod a lot, and I was just saying that's an all-timer performance by Rosamund Pike.
She should have won Best Actress.
Yeah. But her character's awesome. Like, she beats everyone down. She's a murderer, but then she also, at the end, Affleck just kind of is beaten by her.
Well, that scene with his sister, when he finally just agrees, and Margot just looks at him and goes, "You want to stay with her, don't you?"
Yep.
And he kind of didn't answer that question. It's true. It's just she's... And I will say this. She is, even though it's not one of the best Bond movies, she's one of my top 3 Bond girls of all time. Emma Frost and Dive the other day. I'm a big Rosamund Pike fan, so I probably had a little bias going into it. But within that context, I still was going to stay true to this. Mm-hmm. So that's why, she is going to be a team leader. Because let's face it, if you don't follow her, problems will ensue. So I'm proud of you, man.
I had her at linebacker. I was going to have her play linebacker because if she's against you the entire game, she's just going to wear you down. By the fourth quarter, the quarterback is just...
I see her more as a strong safety, but that's just me.
She's just in your face. Like her, she's the linebacker eyeballing
defensive quarterback, safety, I see. But I can see your point.
She's just eyeballing the whole time. The guy just quits.
All right. So now it's up to you. Okay, now David Fincher, round 2.
David Fincher, round 2, and I'm going to go with the runner Alien as a running back from Alien 3.
Okay.
So, if you remember Alien 3, Fincher hates the movie, by the way. The alien ran on all 4s. So this alien, you give it the ball, right? Tucks it in, just runs. Like, that's what you want in a running back with acid blood and that gross tongue. So no one's going to want to hit it too hard because, you hit it, it's going to acid blood on you.
Right.
And so just imagine that thing at running back.
The yak is going to be amazing. The yards after carry.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are going to, that initial hit, it's going to be like,
yep.
And then there's going to be another 3 to 5 yards after first contact every time.
And it's fast. And it can run on ceilings. I don't know what that'll help. But I mean,
don't.
And I bet it could.
Don't stadium.
Yep. AstroTurf doesn't matter. Some people get older. They have trouble on turf. They like to play on grass. That happens to a lot of soccer players who come over playing MLS. Right. This alien's not going to have that problem. Turn on a dime. I mean, it's fast. It's 40. What do you think the alien's 40 would be? What's the normal 40?
Well, the fastest recorded 40 at the NFL Combine was a 4.2.
4.2.
That was John Ross a couple of years ago. Terrible football player, though. So pure speed isn't everything. But the alien, I'd probably say 1.8.
Yeah. Just jumping. Now, could that alien be a good, who's a good, running back / receiver? You know what I mean? Who are Duke Johnson Jr., right? During some of his better years.
Marshall Faulk.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So do you think the alien could catch?
How long? What's the arm span?
But remember in Alien 3, it reached through the ceiling, grabbed the dude by the head, and pulled him up through the ceiling. Long.
But it wasn't moving.
Yeah. And what's its eyesight?
That's the other thing. You need great peripheral vision to be catching balls out of the backfield.
I don't think it, because whenever you see their, vision, whenever it's first person?
Yeah.
The POV? Not very good.
And the only thing, and look, everything I know in life comes from movies. Like, when they talk about Jurassic Park and everything about, their eyesight, if you stay in front of it, it can't see you. So I'm assuming Alien probably has some limited eyesight, like any other predatory animal in not just Earth, but in the universe. So I would say that maybe some limited skills catching the ball out of the backfield, but you know what? You may never need to throw the ball.
Yeah, you're right.
You just hand it off.
The biggest problem, though, is teams would adapt. So I think this alien would be good on the first 2 downs, but maybe third and long, maybe not,
But are you ever going to be third and long? Really?
Yeah. It will get at least 5 yards.
Yeah, it would be productive, and that's what you want in fantasy football. You don't care if the team wins or loses. You don't care if anything. If you have an offensive player, you want them to be down by 30. So if you have a quarterback, you want them to throw the ball 50 times. So you root differently. So I think it's going to be constantly production. You're going to get constant production.
It would eat up the clock.
Yeah, which can be good and bad.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so I have Vigo the Carpathian at linebacker. And then I have the alien from Alien 3 as my running back. Who's your next one?
So I'm in 80s comedies now. And this was tough for me. This was tough because there's one actor that I was already all in on for my first pick out of the 80s. And I was hoping you didn't lean that way with your first pick. Then it came down to, of this iconic 80s actor, which role did I want? Yeah. And so the more I thought about it and thinking it in terms of who's going to work well with Amy Dunn in the locker room, who's going to be someone that's going to be able to go back and forth, the more I thought about it, the more I see production. And I like, as you can see with Amy Dunn, I like people that have maybe a little violent streak, a little chip on their shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
That's important to me.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something that you want. So my pick in the second round, I'm taking Johnny Lawrence from The Karate Kid. Billy Zabka is the most iconic 80s actor that there ever was, ever will be. A lot of great roles in there, a lot of great roles, He's got that great role in Back to School. He had some different things. He's too much of a douchebag, I think, in Back to School, especially when he's in that goofy leopard skin Halloween costume and everything. But Johnny Lawrence in The Karate Kid is the perfect villain. I still think the Broccoli family should enlist him as a villain for a Bond movie. He was he encapsulated everything that high schoolers hate in the popular bully kid. And he was just everything you could possibly, and he did it in such an effortless way. Yeah. But he is not wrong when he talks about, in the final match, he was the 2-time All-Valley karate champion. He came in and he lost on an illegal kick. Yep. I mean, there was definitely favoritism shown by the referee towards Daniel Russo, and they just completely dismissed an illegal kick to the head. Daniel Russo should have been disqualified. and I like that chip that he has moving forward. So anyway, you put him now in the same locker room with Amy Dunn. You got you have some violence going on in here, man. You got people that are going to be coming out looking to tear some heads off. I mean, they got some chips on their shoulder.
And she can manipulate him pretty good.
Yeah, he as much as a bully as he is, he let John Kreese control him. So
Amy would own him.
It definitely would own him.
What do you think he would play?
Quite honestly, I could see him playing quarterback.
Quarterback?
Yeah, because I could see him. He's so athletic, that he could. Remember the scene where they're just playing soccer out on the beach? I mean, he showed dexterity with his feet, so he can basically do anything athletically. But I'm going for a lot of mental prowess here, and I think that Amy Dunn and Johnny Lawrence have the mental prowess and the chip on their shoulders that I'm looking for to put together my team. And this is who I want taking the field. So I got Amy Dunn, I got Amazing Amy going out number 1, and then number 2, I'm going down with Johnny Lawrence.
Could you picture her holding a jersey and just having photos taken of her?
I can, actually.
That'd be amazing.
I could see her. Love
the attention.
The press tour.
Oh yeah.
I've already got you beat on the on media day, man.
Yeah, you would not want to be in the same room as my 2 starting players.
No.
I'm quickly becoming like Oakland. Right? Weren't the Raiders?
I'm quickly becoming the New England Patriots. Yeah. Just very, very Bill Belichick master villain type of central casting.
So yeah, I'm guessing. Right now I'm probably the Raiders, right? Would you say, or the Steelers when they were really rough?
Yeah. And I would say I'm definitely becoming more of that New England Patriot.
That's funny.
Pretty boy Tom Brady and the Bond master villain in Bill Belichick.
Oh, jeez Louise.
I see that pretty boy Johnny Zabka or Billy Zabka kind of Rosamund Pike thing working for me. And plus, I'm winning homecoming already, so I already got the homecoming court.
I mean, you got people like good faces for teams too. I mean, no one's going to pick Vigo the Carpathian's not going to be sponsored by Nike.
No. It's my problem is I'm going to have a lot of people being hauled into the commissioner's office for breaking the league's behavior policies. Yep. So I got some, I might not have a team to field by mid, because I might have some violence issues going on my team.
So I'm going all defense.
Okay.
Right? I'm on 80s comedies now.
Okay.
So I'm going to draft the paper boy from Better Off Dead who wanted his $2. Imagine him at safety or corner.
Yep.
He never quits.
No.
He goes down mountains.
He was on the Mel Kiper big board when I was putting.
I saw that board at your house, by the way.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, man. So I agree with you, man.
He is not going to quit, right?
No.
There's no quitting. And this is a child who went down a mountain on a bicycle, right?
Right.
And he has the bike on the field.
What I like about him is focus.
Whoa. And his mental game is strong too. You miss him once, you miss him twice, I'm just going to get you a third time.
Right. No, that's what I mean. His focus is incredibly underrated.
That's what you need. I need a 4-quarter player.
Yeah. In the fourth quarter, he is still...
I want my $2.
Yes. And he's still coming after it.
I want my safety. I want my 2
well
points.
Done, man. That's really well done.
Wait, I want my 2 points. That makes me happy.
Yes.
And also Better Off Dead's an amazing movie. John Cusack. All right, so you are on...
I'm back to Fincher.
Fincher.
This was an interesting, kind of kicking around which way I wanted to go with this. And I was thinking about my locker room, and I was kind of putting it together. And, there's some obvious ones. I know, it seems like Amy Burke would be kind of a obvious one. But look at the way I'm putting together my team.
It's like call it the locker room.
So I'm going to go with Justin Timberlake in The Social Network.
Ah.
He plays... why am I drawing a blank here? He plays Sean Parker.
Yeah, Sean Parker.
Talk about ruthless.
Yeah.
Talk about, Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo Saverin were a couple brilliant kids out of Harvard.
Yeah.
But it took the sheer sociological way of looking at the world that Sean Parker did to the way he screwed Eduardo Saverin out. And plus the actor that they chose to play Sean Parker, Justin Timberlake's a scratch golfer. He's tall. He's about 6'2". He is incredibly athletic. He plays in a lot of NBA, like these celebrity all-star games and everything. So, he's a dancer. He can throw down dimes from 3 points. He can dance. He's a triple threat in every way whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm going to go with a very underrated role in that movie, but I'm going to go with the Justin Timberlake, Sean Parker role in The Social Network.
And he's good. He understands the psychology of the game too. Like he really understands different players, so he would work wonders with the bully and Amy Dunn.
Yes, you put Justin Timberlake, Billy Zabka, and Rosamund Pike in my locker room, man. That's.
I mean, they're doing like you. Yeah, you're definitely the Patriots. What position did you have him playing?
Timberlake, I'd have it receiver.
Receiver,
or like maybe even like a Rob Gronkowski, like H-back tight end kind of deal. So he's definitely an offensive player. He's too pretty to play defense.
Yeah. Are there many pretty defensive players?
Pretty defensive.
You know what
players.
I mean? You can think of pretty offensive players.
Yeah, I don't. If there are, they're going to be like. I would say like DBs or safeties, like a Rod Woodson is a very handsome man or something to that effect. But I don't think you're going to get too many Ndamukong Suhs, like defensive linemen that are GQing it for you.
Yeah,
but I could see that DB build.
Yeah, I see that. That's a good call.
Yeah, but I just don't think Timberlake's going to be initiating contact. I think he'd be fine taking some hits. I think he's mentally tough. He can get tackled, but I don't see him wanting to mix it up on defense. So I'm going to be putting him use his hands, let him work in space, and I think he's good for he'll be good for 7 catches and a touchdown every week.
He'd learn routes. I think he could improvise well.
Yeah. I think and he's a team player, man.
Yeah, he gets it.
I mean, he was an overriding star in NSYNC, but he still played team ball for a long time until he, obviously was able to finally break out on his own. But he was a team player, even though he was clearly...
Until he said bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, but he was talent-wise, he was light years ahead of the other 4.
Do you think it tore up his heart? When he left NSYNC?
Now when he saw the paycheck he got from... what did he get, like 19 cents an hour when he was in NSYNC or something like that?
Yeah, they did not do good to them.
No, that guy's... Well, I think he's dead now, but he definitely went to jail, so...
All right, so my 4th player is a Fincher character, and I'm picking the Zodiac killer from Zodiac as a wide receiver.
Okay.
Because no one can catch him.
No
one.
It's the emptiest part about that movie.
He would be special teams, right? And then he would do punts, kickoffs, and he would be a wide receiver.
Now, if you're picking the actor that they chose working in the hardware store, he's not exactly in shape.
No, but he did it for many years. So let's go earlier.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I mean, just the way that he he saw angles. He didn't leave evidence.
Nope.
He was very selective in his choices. So I think when he catches the ball off a kickoff or a punt, he's going to know when to take a fair catch. Also, he's going to know which angle to take. So once he gets that ball, and plus he's pretty big, so once he gets it, you're going to have a very hard time catching him. Just no one could catch him.
Right.
On that field, people are like, where is he? And he's in the end zone.
He was another one that was on my big board. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I truly admired... What I admired about him is that he didn't get caught.
Yep.
And that movie is sneaky, frustrating, and brilliant all at the same time.
What, 2 hours and 40 minutes?
Because you want some resolution, and you only get a hint of resolution, which is... I don't know. It just leaves you like a little... But that's just the way it is in the real world. And to your selection, that's what you want. Even when you think you got him.
Where is he?
You don't?
You know when there's a massive pileup and everyone gets up and he's not there? And he's in the end zone?
Yeah.
It could be a problem, like showing up for practice. You just never know where he is. He probably doesn't travel with the team.
Yeah.
He just gets there.
Yeah, he's not even in the locker room. He's just like in the huddle and they look over.
Hey, where's Zodiac at?
Whoa. Plus, it kind of harkens back to the old XFL, like, He Hate Me. He's got the cool jersey. It says Zodiac on the back.
No one knows him.
Right.
Like, I've been playing with him for 7 years. We've never talked.
Yeah. He's I don't even know where his locker is.
I have 4 antagonists on my team right now.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the fun things about doing this was trying to find, like, not the... I went Amy Dunn, I will say that, but the other characters were that were deeper in the script, or they have major roles, but they weren't Ralph Macchio's character, or like the number one character. It's more interesting to find. I know, because I know your love of henchmen, and I know, it's not, maybe your last pick will be Henchman 4 from some movie, but that should have been my pick for your first pick. It should have been like Henchman 2 from, like, what? some random 80s movie,
Like from Naked Gun or something?
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah, well, I thought about OJ.
Oh, yeah. He took a lot of pain in those movies and lived.
I took him off my board now. There was just, I know that seems weird, but there's something about being in a movie violence and actual violence. Yeah. So I had to draw a line somewhere, and OJ was just, I couldn't put him on my
considered
board.
him. I did, but I didn't do it. I didn't.
And it seemed too obvious. People listening, I feel like that would have been a place they would have gone pretty easily. So I was like, I don't want to be obvious.
Got it. All right, who you got?
You're going to laugh here. But,
all right, let's do it.
Okay, because after I just said we got to go deep into the roster, I'm going to pick
80s comedies.
80s comedies is my pick now, and I'm going to take iconic. I mean, this guy played in the NBA. I'm taking Fletch.
The Lakers.
He's 6'6", 6'9" with the afro.
Yeah.
And, he's from the hard scrabbled streets of Harlem.
Yeah.
You talk about, now, you need somebody in that locker room that's going to add an element of levity, okay? But Fletch doesn't play by the rules. He's going to have no problems. None whatsoever with people playing, with Amy Dunn. Hey, she got away with it. Cool with Fletch, because Fletch doesn't play by the rules.
He doesn't judge.
And then I could see the parties out on his lanai, at his apartment.
Everyone would go.
Oh God, yes.
Amy Dunn would be there.
Oh God, could you imagine the kegger at Fletch's simulation apartment in England?
He could unite the team.
Oh, I think he would be an underrated leader on the team.
Yeah, he would be a leader by not leading. Does that make sense?
Well, his act of not caring will come across as he cares, like it does, because he wants to solve. He wants to. He's another focused individual.
He's a journalist.
Yeah, and he's incredibly focused. He does eventually solve all the cases and the problems that are put forth to him. But he's not an overbearing leader.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think it would be a good fit for the rest of the locker room. Plus, like I said, he's, in the first Fletch, it showed that he played for the Lakers. He had incredible athletic ability. Plus, we saw his tennis skills out on the thing. And plus, and look, let's just face it, if his car, hits a water buffalo, he knows how to go find a towel. So, he's kind of the perfect guy. Yeah, if you're so let's say you're playing a game in Tampa, and you got to go to Jacksonville, but you need a bus. You want him on there. Plus, I don't know if we're playing salary cap rules, but I already got you beat because everything we do is going to be put on the Underhills Annex. The books are going to be interesting to look at for your team. Yes, and our post game spread is going to be a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich. So. Well, I don't even know what my team would eat. No one even knows what Zodiac likes. No, see, now I think you will be right now or have physical dominance over my team. So so you do have that going for you. So, but my team's pretty slow. Except for my runner. And right. I have a child on a bicycle. Let's be real here. So I'm on 80s comedies now, right? Right. All right. So I need a good guy. I need a protagonist on my team. But I don't want a super stereotypical leader, right? I want someone who is a quiet badass who takes the fight against massive odds and never backs down. So I'm picking Lynn Peltzer from Gremlins to be another one of my defensive safeties or corners. Now, I wrote about this for Crack. She is one of the most unheralded horror heroes of all time. She's in her home. They're murderous. One gremlin kills one person. In this movie that Gremlins has created, one gremlin can kill a grown man. She defeats 3 of them in a brutal kitchen fight with never backing down. She obliterates that one in the blender, right? And then she picks up a tray table like a Spartan warrior, runs at the other one, stabs it 3 times to death, then maces another one, puts it in a microwave and blows it up. She never backs down. She gets all cut up. She's like your Amy Dunn. Yeah, so she's a hero. She's not going to put up with any of these people's crap. Like Zodiac Killer, she's like, bring it. Yeah. Vigo, get over yourself. I think the Zodiac Killer would also be a little disturbed like I was as a kid with that blender scene in Gremlins. So that thing's like obliterated stump is spraying blood. And she didn't care. And that took a little punk gremlin to jump her from a Christmas tree. But she never backed down. She never ran away. She wasn't a traditional horror villain. So,
she could have a train running at her. I feel like she'd try to take it out.
You know,
and the paper boy from Better Off Dead would probably look at her as like a mentor. She'd have that back there, but really work out a good thing with them. The xenomorph would
she might be more than that to him.
Yeah.
He's a little young. Yeah, he's in that
like a mother
prepubescent stage.
And then like a xenomorph. Like
now, you don't think you're going to get bogged down with that people in your locker room like questioning the rules with the gremlins, like it
would be apocalypse.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like because there are some serious flaws to the rules.
If a gremlin got loose, the world would be over.
Yeah, because the rules are impossible to live by. Because they don't, time zones and everything. So I'm just curious, will there be any sort of discussion in the locker room about that with her? Or is it just, I don't care?
I think respect.
Okay.
Like, you murdered 3 gremlins.
Fair enough.
You weren't supposed to, stereotypically in these movies, you're dead, or you're getting beat up, or you're the damsel in distress.
Fair enough.
She took it to him.
Yeah.
So respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. That's okay. Yeah.
I mean, she stabbed a gremlin 3 times with, like, a Michael Myers-esque blade.
And it's like, what the brilliance of the Gremlins is, it was actually, like, sold and marketed, like, as a, like, kind of like a quasi-kids movie.
It's one of the reasons PG-13 happened.
It was so, and it's, like, so disturbing.
It's messed up.
It's brutally disturbing.
Also,
I kind of like I definitely was, I think by accident, you're bringing together some interesting chemistry to your locker room.
Yeah, I got some weird stuff going on.
Yeah. You definitely are more eclectic than me.
And also, there's a scene in the movie in Gremlins where she's cutting onions, and she's watching It's a Wonderful Life, and she's not crying. That's a tough lady.
That's next level stuff right there.
You don't mess with her.
No.
All right, who's your next one? Fincher, right?
Yeah, I'm back to Fincher, and everyone's going to see a kind of a thread here. But I love the books, and I just think she's just a badass, and I need somebody to pair up with Amy Dunn. So Lisbeth Salander, Rooney Mara's coming to town, man.
Yeah,
we're putting. I need somebody. I can't not have someone for Amy Dunn in the locker room. I need another strong female presence because Amy Dunn will take over. She will completely own it, and there needs to be a counterbalance to that where, and Lisbeth Salender's not going to take, she's not taking it from anybody.
And she'll have dirt on everybody. They won't want to do anything to her because she'll just turn them in.
Right. And then when you think about just from an analytics standpoint, everything in sports today is analytics. I got Lisbeth. So when it comes to I got people that know how to prepare, but I have someone that can actually do the big data, like your wife, that works in big data. I got the big data person that understands analytics and can bring that to the table as well. And she's just no nonsense, man. She is a cold-blooded, but she's another anti-hero, man. Yeah. I could see Amy Dunn even being a little wary of Lisbeth Salander. Yeah, she may not admit it. She may try to play tough with it, but I think that even she would be somewhat intimidated.
There's levels.
Because she's small, and you look at her, but and then we'd have all the chain smoking in the locker room, which would be awesome. Yeah, so it would just be.
She'd be like Nigel Gruff from The Replacements. Yeah, is there a cigarette in her mouth?
So that's that. So I'm gonna go with Rooney Mara as my selection because I think I'm kind of rounding out. And you can see every one of my guys. They're somewhat antisocial. They're definitely got a chip on their shoulder, but there's some positive traits in all of them. I know some people might argue Amy Dunn, but her positive trait is she was played by Rosamund Pike, that's the only positive trait you need.
All right, so I'm on to Fincher, right?
Yes.
Okay, so with Fincher, I'm picking another sociopath, and I'm going to the TV show Mindhunter, and I'm picking Ed Kemper, played by Cameron Britton, the 6'8", probably 300-pound murderer, but put him on an offensive line. And there's nothing. People aren't going to want to mess with him. He's huge. Have you seen, so in Mindhunter, just a massive, he's smart too, and he's manipulative, and he knows how to play people. And so Ed Kemper, I think, would just, I don't know, having him on an offensive line, you'd have to take him back to jail every weekend, or when the games aren't there, but just put him on the field with many, many security guards, and he'll be a legit offensive lineman for me.
Honestly, I've seen episodes. I'm not 100% familiar. I know who you're discussing, but
he's huge, 6'6", 300 pounds, pretty. And there's some scenes where he is just intimidating. Jonathan Groff, who's in that show. He's an intimidating presence. So you have him on the offensive line. Oh my gosh. And I have another serial killer on my team.
Yes, you do.
I'm going brutal. All right, who's your last one? Then we'll take a quick break. Who's your 6th pick in the draft?
You know, it's interesting. Based on your last pick, I changed. Well, this was on my big board, but I'm moving them up because I think it's a nice tie into what your just pick is. So I'm going, because I'm now on my 80s comedies. So my selection, and I had to double check the reason I was just looking down because I want to make sure I got his name correct from the movie. But I'm going with, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Charles Jefferson.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going one of Forrest Whitaker's earliest movies. I'm taking Charles Jefferson. You know what's going to motivate him.
Yep.
So I got people that will be more than happy to bang up his car, to trash it, but they might even go further.
Yeah.
I have people in my locker room that are going to know how to push buttons.
Yeah.
And especially his buttons. He's not a big thinker,
No.
so he's obviously going to play linebacker. He can play line.
Like a John Favreau-esque from The Replacements. Get him worked up and send him.
There you go. So anyway, and like literally he will just people on the other side are literally shaking once you get him properly motivated.
Yeah, Ed Kemper would be like, even though he's a brutal serial killer, he'd be like, this guy's probably can get past me.
Yeah. So, in that role, he's young. He's obviously a high school senior. But like the one kid said, man, they just flew him in for games. Yep. So, maybe he's older than we realized.
But also, we know that Whitaker is a very smart man. So maybe as he gets older, he becomes a very leader, like a what?
He becomes Idi Amin.
Yeah, he becomes a leader, like a tyrant,
a sociopathic, murderous leader. So he's going to be growing in. He will be groomed in my locker room.
Yeah, he'll be. You groom him right, but with the people he's with, he might go the wrong way.
Oh. I don't even think but I'm just looking for production. Off the field stuff I'm not overly concerned about.
The Patriots will keep him in check.
While he's with us, I have people that will keep him in check. But once the Patriots, once you outserve your usefulness, like Aaron Hernandez, goodbye.
Yeah.
We don't care about you anymore.
What's your name?
Yeah. We don't even know who you are, baby.
All right, how about this? Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll draft the rest of our team. All right, so you know what? I'm just going full villain on my team. I got some good people, but I got to do this. So my next pick is an offensive tackle from Little Shop of Horrors. It's Audrey 2. A gigantic... it's in a pot, right? So he can't pull. There's no pulling.
Yeah, you have some mobility issues on this one.
But as a stationary tackle that can eat people, you're not... no defensive player is going to get around him. And if they have to run around him, then that just gives the quarterback more time on either side. You know what I mean? It can do some hopping, right? And we'll put some, it's NFL, dude. We can make something really fancy for this plant to move on, but you're not getting around him. That's a wall right there. This is a plant that could play 30 years in the NFL. Just an old, really good offensive lineman that takes up the spot of 3 offensive linemen, right? So you're not getting around him. You're not getting through him. You got to go around him. And you have to give a wide berth because you might get eaten. So
how is that going to work in the locker room?
Just put him on a cart.
But I'm talking the interaction. We're talking someone that's obviously Rick Moranis' character is just so subjugated in that role that it doesn't even realize he's being manipulated. But you got people in your room that aren't going to tolerate a lot of Audrey 2's nonsense.
Yeah, but also I think that's going to lead to Audrey's not going to try that on Ed Kemper, right? He's not going to try that on Vigo.
I don't think Audrey 2 has an inner voice to stop that. I think,
you know what though, as long as he can get me some good yards on offense and not eat my team, then I think they'll take him. You know that person that you'd rather have on your team than you'd rather have on your team than play against. Does that make sense? Like the devil you know.
Right.
So I think they would happily bring in this plant to protect the quarterback. I really do. And he wouldn't eat his own team. It gets paid. It's money. He wasn't getting paid in Little Shop of Horrors. He was just locked in a room.
Okay.
And they're like, listen, this is big money. This is the NFL. We own you. Not own you, but we have you on contract. Do you like this money? Do you like your giant Corvette that we made for you? That is basically a semi-truck, but looks like a Corvette? You won't get that if you quit. Go back to Rick Moranis' shop. Or do you want to have the fame? Do you want to be on a playing card? He'll get it.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. I'm definitely going to be a little Mel Kiperish here. I'm not seeing it. I think you're underestimating the issues that you're going to have in the locker room. I think that you have some strong personalities that aren't going to tolerate. I mean, we're talking about one mouthy.
Oh, he's very mouthy.
And you have some folks on your team that are. You think the Zodiac's going to be putting up with?
But he won't be around. He'll just be on the field.
But even in the huddle, I mean, I could see Audrey unintentionally antagonizing people because of a lack of self-awareness, and you might be a man down like mid-season because like someone like the Zodiac might take her out.
I think when money gets involved, I think everything changes. You watch these movies where people change with their money. Clockwork Orange, right? He loved ultraviolence, but then he became a celebrity. Remember that?
Yes.
He was a feral animal in that movie, and then he became famous, right? So I see that happen to Audrey. I really do, too.
Okay.
I see it.
I'm. You know what? There are a lot of players that, on draft day, either in the BSFL draft or the NFL draft that I question, and then all of a sudden you see them assimilated in the locker room, and I've been proven wrong. So I will give you a wide berth here, and I'm gonna give you that one. But I'm definitely not 100% all in on that one.
Who's your Fincher pick?
No, am I on Fincher?
Yeah, I just did 80s comedies, so then you're on Fincher.
Oh, okay, that's right. Because my last one was
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. So okay, so this is going to be a controversial one because he's a controversial figure. But we're talking about. Let's just play it straight here, okay? And I really debated between the husband or the wife, but I gotta put Frank Underwood.
Oh, Frank Underwood.
I thought about Stamper, but I just feel like Stamper is too much of a. Yeah, I mean, you need followers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that, but he's too much of a follower for me. I thought about Claire, pairing a Lisbeth Salander and a Amy Dunn together with Claire, but that might be too much of the sameness coming on. So by virtue of that, by process of elimination. Excuse me. I'm going to lead towards the master manipulator, and it'll be fun to see Frank Underwood and Amy Dunn, go the battle of wits. I don't have a ton of brain power in my locker room. I will admit. I mean, Lisbeth Salander is great. Billy Zabka is great, but I mean, we're not talking iconic IQs here. Amy Dunn.
How would Lisbeth deal with Frank?
Not well.
Yeah.
There's gonna look.
You just interjected you just put a piranha in your team.
Yeah. No, but you look how Lisbeth Salander handles. She knows how to keep strong men in line. Plus, the other problem is, if you want to go meta here, Lisbeth Salander is played by Rooney Mara. Rooney Mara's sister is Kate Mara, and that's who Frank Underwood. Yeah.
Hey,
so
man.
So there might be some some issues in this that go on here. But I feel that I think Frank's
on the Patriots, so it's perfect.
He'll bring in some ribs, and we'll be our pregame meal at 7 a.m. is going to be we're gonna have some ribs, and so but I like that dynamic of putting everything's revolving around Amy Dunn. So it's just that person. So everyone I'm thinking about has to interact with her. And I feel like, and I still think Amy Dunn will get the better of her. I think the only one that's going to make her concerned in the locker room will be Lisbeth Salander. That's going to be the only match. But just watching those two, knowing that they're trying.
But if she lets Lisbeth be herself and doesn't try to impose, I think Lisbeth won't care.
Fair enough. But she will have the respect for Lisbeth Salander to leave her alone.
Yeah.
She's not going to and now, let's just face it, she's going to have no respect for Kevin Spacey in
the
locker room. But just the mental titans that would be going out, like, for control of the locker room, control of the team.
This is Shakespeare.
Yeah. As the guy who is owning the team, I have to admit, I would be fascinated to see that be executed.
This is a social experiment for you.
A little bit.
I'm going, like, longest yard.
Well, yeah, you're going more towards positional players, and I'm definitely thinking more about my locker room, about the intermeshing of a social experiment. I think as people listen to this, your on-field product is going to be better than mine. But I feel like if we lose, I feel like within 5 hours, like all your players will be somehow missing. because there'll be so much revenge going on from my teammates. From my players will be seeking revenge after the game.
Oh, man. All right, I got a really random pick here.
Okay.
Dustin Moskovitz.
Really?
From The Social Network. But the reason I'm picking him, he'll just be a bench player. But it's Joseph Mazzello. Now, Joseph Mazzello was in Jurassic Park, right? This is a meta pick. He was in the Pacific, lived in the Pacific, lived in Jurassic Park. He's in Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Many big egos.
The bass player, yep.
So many egos, right? And he just stayed strong all the way through. He was a uniting thing. He came in strong when everyone was fighting. He came with the bass line, according to the movie. So this guy, right?
Yeah, another one bites the dust.
He's been in a bunch of big movies. He's lived, and he's been around a lot of big personalities. So if you keep him on your bench in here, he's almost a uniter because everyone likes him. He's not going anywhere. Like, he's not going to be manipulated.
Oh, see, you're going more of a chemistry pick there.
Yeah,
that's a locker room presence.
This is a guy who, he's just the good guy to have on the team. He fits in with everybody.
And see, this is where, when I was thinking about Stamper, but I feel like Stamper's too much of a follower. He needs to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Your pick, picking a Dustin Moskowitz, he's not a follower per se. He just works well in group situations.
Yep.
And that's different than being a follower.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a leader, but he is somebody that you need a likable guy in your locker room that everyone just kind of likes. And yeah.
Lynn goes up to Dustin's like, man, dude, that Audrey's killing me. Zodiac comes up to him. Hey, man, don't turn around. I'm right behind you. You can't see me. But that Audrey's getting on my nerves. Vigo comes up to him and is like, yo, dude, I'm really exhausted of the xenomorph. Like, just killing me. And he's just a uniting presence. He's there. He throws good parties. Everyone comes. I think people just like hanging out with him. So I needed someone to tie everyone together, and that's Dustin Moskovitz. Moskovitz from Social Network, played by Joseph Mazzello.
Okay, I'm back to 80s comedies. Yes. I just picked Frank Underwood. All right. I've been waiting a couple rounds to do this one because I was giving you a wide berth. Because this is the person I thought you were going to take number. And I was like, okay, well, I'm sure he has him on his big board at 2 or 3. And I've given you enough, I think, a wide enough berth to take this person.
Is it Bill Murray or Keanu Reeves?
No.
Oh, who is it?
And I'm thinking now that this one slipped through the goalie. And I think you might even be a little upset you didn't think of it.
Who is it?
Okay, I'm taking Jack Burton. From Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, dude, he's the best.
I thought for sure this was your number 1 pick. And you could see why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's tough. He hangs in there. He's not the most talented, but he's there at the end. And he's the best
greatest actor in the history of cinema.
The best action hero ever.
Yes. And I was just like, when you told me that your wife Megan said, oh, without it, I was like, I turned to my wife and I said, oh, it's Kurt Russell. It's got to be Jack Burton. This is a no-brainer. It has to be him. So I've been giving you, a little bit of a berth, okay, I know this is on his routes. But now, this is a pick that I didn't expect to be on the board. I did not think I would be able to draft him. And all of a sudden, this is Aaron Rodgers to me.
Yeah. Who
fell to the 27th pick when everyone thought he would go number 1, and the Packers had done actually no due diligence on Aaron Rodgers. They're just like, we have to take the guy.
Yeah.
This is Aaron Rodgers to me. I'm bringing in just someone. You talk about a locker room presence, man.
Oh, yeah.
And he is going to, as we can see, he can play quarterback. He can do everything on the field. He could be my player coach if I needed to be. And he's just got that charisma that I think that people are going to be generally drawn to.
Oh, Blue Eyes.
So,
Amy Dunn would like him because he
even Lisbeth Salander would like him.
Because he's not even on social media, so she couldn't get anything on him.
Right. So
she's like, I have nothing on this guy.
Right. And so, so anyway, so I was waiting, and now it's too good a pick to be sitting out there. The analysts that are covering this draft are probably sitting there going, how in God's name is Jack Burton still on the board? So I think I'm getting a steal at this point in the draft, with 1 round to go. This is my 5th pick, so I think that this was a no-brainer.
Great reflexes.
Oh, he's amazing. And, in that movie, when he has to take on the supernatural, you see him go next level. Yeah. And I like guys that can go next level.
I mean, he walked up to almost a godlike character and punched him in the face. I mean, he got wiped out, but he wasn't afraid,
Right.
They shake the pillars of earth.
Hey, he
preached to the...
look, I mean, he took down Lopan. I mean, what more do I have to say? I mean, really, think about it.
I'm on 80s comedies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Pedro Serrano from Major League.
Good one.
I wanted a good tight end. And you know what's funny? While filming the movie, Wesley Snipes, so we have a podcast coming out about Major League after this one. Oh, no, yeah, before this one. And Dennis Haysbert was faster than Wesley Snipes. So every scene in Major League, they had to show Wesley Snipes running in slow motion to make him seem faster than he actually is.
Really?
And he actually jacked all those home runs, Pedro Serrano. Also, I just want Joe Boo in the locker room. I think having Pedro in there, with all these serial killers and all these xenomorphs and all these... So get this. There's a scene where everyone comes up to Pedro with, he's with Joe Boo. But it's Dorn, it's Tom Berenger, it's the pitcher who just throws junk, it's Wild Things. They all are like weirded out by Serrano. So here's my team of weirdos and murderers, but they're like, what are you doing with that's weird, man. So you need that person that the entire team thinks is weird. Does that make sense? So then they can be like, unite.
He will definitely unite it because everyone will be united in being nervous around Pedro Serrano. Like it will be like possibly even unspoken. Yep. He's intimidating. He doesn't have to speak many words. Mm-mm. And I think when you take a look at your team, even like blabbermouths like Audrey too are just going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to just tiptoe around this
because it'll mess with Jobu once. And then remember when the guy gets hit with the bat?
Right, yeah. One of the great character actors.
Up your butt, Joe Boo.
One of the great character actors of all time. Oh, why can't I think of his name? But he's brilliant.
And so, I bet you Audrey will probably drink the rum, and then something terrible will happen to him, and no one just messes with Pedro. So that's my pick, Pedro Serrano. Who you got?
All right, so this is my final pick, correct?
Have we each... So I have picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I thought, we're picking 10 players? Yeah, we'll do that. So final pick.
Okay, so this is my final pick. Now, this is going to be kind of an esoteric pick. I'm picking the actor because I want this guy in my locker room. Now, the role that he plays is he's one of these guys that elevated himself out of henchmen. He's one of these guys that got promoted and actually now has a name. He's not a henchman. We know he has a name. He actually has speaking lines. Like he's actually, put himself there. And then over time in his other roles, he kind of took this henchman kind of role and almost turned it into an iconic sense. So I'm going to go with the original Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh.
And I'm going to take Victor Maitland's henchman, who is Jonathan Banks.
Oh, yeah.
Who, as many people will know, is Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. But back in the day, one of his first iconic roles was taking on Eddie Murphy on behalf of Victor Maitland in Beverly Hills Cop 2. And he's got that Dick Cheney way about him where he only says a couple words, but God, it resonates. Like he's kind of got away, even when he was younger, like just this strength through fear, strength through being silent. And I have a feeling that would be an unsettling presence and work well in my locker room.
Teams need henchmen, but they also need, Timberlake and Dunn. They need someone on a team that they know they just can't. You can't.
Right. He'll walk in. They don't even need to know him. Like, he'll walk in. Like, they could have they could not know him from Adam.
Yeah.
And he would be in the locker room for 30 seconds, and it would just be like, yeah, he's a badass.
Yeah.
Like,
Dunn wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Elizabeth and him would get along. They would just sort of sit next to each other on the bus and not say anything.
Oh, here's the other thing, and this is kind of like, I think, with kind of like Pedro Serrano a little bit, too. There would be an unspoken wanting to earn.
Yeah.
Like there's certain people you want their respect. You may not verbalize it, but you want it.
Yeah.
And I think that Pedro Serrano kind of developed that on the Cleveland Indians team. And I think that Jonathan Banks has that kind of bizarre personality where people want his respect, and I think he's kind of done that in every single role in his career. Obviously, it was crystallized in perfection with Mike Ehrmantraut, but but I wanted Jonathan Banks, and it's weird. It's so funny because Jonathan Banks plays an air traffic controller in Airplane.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's got a full head of hair and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's even so. But then I realized, I was like, oh my god, wait a minute, he's in Beverly Hills Cop. So I'm gonna, that was kind of where I was.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love Jonathan Banks.
Oh, he's brilliant.
All right, my last one. So this one, I need a good guy. So I'm going with Detective Rhonda Boney from Gone Girl, played by Kim Dickens. She's in Fear the Walking Dead as well.
Yep.
Very dogged, very determined, sees through the BS, knows what's going on. Just kind of smart, super intelligent. And I think she'd be a heck of a defensive player for me.
You know what's interesting about Kim Dickens is my wife and I are addicted to Dateline, and especially during the summer. So we DVR it, and I'm making a point about why this I think is a really good pick. Is every time that there is a murder in a small town on Dateline, my wife initially, as soon as it's like in the small town of population 9, in Iowa, my wife goes, "Oh, these cops are going to screw it up. This is like the first murder that's happened here in 190 years. And the biggest thing that police department's ever dealt with was like, a shoplifting at the local Circle K. And she goes, oh, there's a reason this is on Dateline, because these guys are walking all over evidence. These guys have completely screwed it up and everything. What makes Kim Dickens so good, and they even exemplify it because the kid from Almost Famous is like her number 2, and he's a moron. He exemplifies small-time cop and small-time everything, but she is kind of a big city brain in a small town.
Yep.
And what concerns me a little is what's going to happen. At some point, Amy Dunn and Kim Dickens are gonna. I mean,
that's great. That's a Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
Because you saw what happened, in the hospital when Kim Dickens took on Amy Dunn, and it did not go well. So,
she's learned. So some people take defeat and regress.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kim Dickens, Rhonda, she learns from her defeats. You know what I mean? I don't think she gets shook. I think she gets better.
No, she gets stronger. And then there's just even that scene with Tyler Perry when they're in the airport and she's just kind of flabbergasted and frustrated where she knows what happens now and is just helpless. Where your typical small-time cop, man, he just wants to go hang out at Walmart and eat donuts, man. He, okay, someone got away with a murder, man, I'm going home. Like, she is somebody that takes her job home with her.
Yep.
And, I think that brings an interesting type of personality to your team.
So, I got Lynn Pelter in there. She's tough as nails. I got Rhonda in there. I got Dustin Moskovitz. So I got some people who can, Pedro. So I have murderers, but I also have non-tough kind of people. I think this team could work, maybe.
Like I said, I just think Audrey, too,
it's a stretch.
It could work. I'm not saying it won't work. It's just, if I'm going to put on my analysis role, I think you have some, I could just see him being kind of a smart ass and it really backfiring in your locker room. That's just a perception.
I think we took two picks. We gambled big on Frank and Audrey. Those are gambles.
Yes. And Frank Underwood, like I said, I really wanted somebody from House of Cards because I think the first 2 seasons of House of Cards is about as good as David Fincher has put together. I think the last 4 they were just running out of they were running out of steam. But they ran out of ideas.
What about Mahershala? He was a college basketball player.
No, he was. He was. I don't think I was within the context of not Gone Girl, but within the contect of
the
show of House of Cards, he didn't do enough. For me
to earn it a spot.
And I even thought, but I already had Rooney Mara, so that's why I steered away from Kate Mara. Plus, she only was around for 1 season and 1 show. So,
yeah.
But there was some interesting. House of Cards has a very eclectic group of people to consider.
Well, your team gets barbecue now.
Well, that's
the best reason. Catering.
And the lines. Look, there's another thing. Some of the iconic lines from some of my characters are pretty amazing. That was the other thing. I think I wanted some of his witty repartee in my locker room too. I like quotes. I like great movie quotes.
I like to see Audrey against him. He would hate it.
That would be a verbal. That would be. I think that Audrey would. I think Audrey would eat him. I think so. I think Audrey would get so sick of him.
Yeah.
That because he's a grating figure. Let's face it.
I mean, I'm a plant. I don't need to put up with you.
Yeah. So, where at least like a Rick Moranis, there was a certain charm that Audrey put up with. There's no charm.
Yeah, you're right.
He becomes more charmless over the course of the series. But I think anyone that watched House of Cards realized that they were just running on fumes with ideas, which is a shame. But the first 2 years are just... They
were like Kramer and Seinfeld in that car. Was running out of gas.
Yeah. Just we can keep going. Then they see the dealership. We can keep going.
And then they just walk away.
Right.
All right, I want to tell you. So I put together a coaching staff. So the owner's yogurt from Spaceballs, merchandising, money, merchandising. My coach is Rudolph Russo, Kurt Russell, used cars.
So you did get a Kurt Russell guy in there. Okay.
I think he's a good head coach because he unites everyone, and he's kind of shady. He can lead. My offensive coordinator is John Doe from Seven. My defensive coordinator is Christine Clare from The Game. My special teams is Chris Knight from Real Genius. Also, the people that I didn't pick were Ted.
Wait a minute, who from?
Val Kilmer from Real Genius.
Well, brilliant, but who from?
Christine Clare from The Game. Remember, she travels from everywhere.
Is that Kara Unger?
Yeah,
yeah. So she was on my short list.
Yeah,
and then I just felt like I had Elizabeth Salander, and I had Amy Dunn. I just decided to put her. I just was like, I didn't want that whole thing, but she
could coordinate.
Yeah, I really wanted to get someone in. I think The Game. I get it. I know people get into the final 15 minutes and the continuity.
Too much.
It's just I know people get like they overthink it. I think it's such a good movie. If you just take it as a movie, it's brilliant. If you start thinking about could this happen in real life, it starts to play with your head a little bit and gets a little frustrating. But I love Kara Unger in that movie.
And then I didn't pick Ted from Bill and Ted's. He was going to be my quarterback. I had Barf from Spaceballs, defensive end. He's half dog. I had H.I. McDonough from Raising Arizona, who'd have been a wide receiver. I picked Bart the Bear from The Great Outdoors to be a defensive lineman.
Wow.
Didn't add him.
Get the old 69er. Again, talk about a pregame meal.
That's right. I love that movie when he eats that. Meg Altman from Panic Room. Can't catch her.
No,
she saves everyone. And then I had Ricky from Fight Club. He was the first to join Project Mayhem. He doesn't quit.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that listen to this that will be shocked that we did not have anyone from Fight Club on this list. But I when I went through the roster of characters, I did not, either it was too obvious or you can't put Brad Pitt's character in the locker room. It's just going to be a mess.
Yeah.
I don't
Mayhem.
I didn't need that. And then when you start going into other characters, you were really going, kind of getting deep into like the third, fourth guy in the fight room. I'm like, okay, then that's no one's going to know who that is. So why go that route? But I think people are going to be a little surprised that Fight Club didn't get anyone in the draft room.
You're just too blonde. And the groundhog from Caddyshack, running back. It would go underground. No one could tackle it.
Yeah, I thought about,
Or it could be a defensive end and just put a bunch of holes in the field. That'd be chaos for the offense.
See, I went with Fletch, and Ty Webb was definitely in my circle. I mean,
No.
Well, just the zen. He could bring. He would bring Basho.
You see those putts he nailed?
He would bring Basho into the locker room, and I think that would be
Roger Dorn.
Like you have Jobu. Like I thought about Ty Webb, and I thought about Basho, and because a donut without a hole is a Danish.
Yeah. Is that a $100,000 check?
Well, the other thing what I liked about Ty Webb was he would measure himself against all other golfers by height.
Yeah, I love that. And my last one I thought about doing was Lisa from Weird Science. Because kind of a genie. Or not genie, but like a magical... I don't know. That just seemed... I wanted, But I wish I would have put the groundhog.
Well, you got Audrey 2 in there. So, and the other guy I really was trying to figure out how, and maybe he'll, maybe he could be like my co-owner that gets kicked out by the league I got Kevin Spacey, so maybe this is a bad way to go, but I really wanted to get Phil Knight. I really wanted him somehow, some way. I mean, you talk about an iconic figure in film comedy, underrated, like his skill in comedy, I think it's so effortless that people don't recognize it.
Yeah.
But I really was trying to figure out...
His Caddyshack character?
Oh, well, just Phil Knight in general.
Oh,
but that was going to be the one you'd have to go with. But great golfer.
What about Rodney Dangerfield from Back to School? He pulled a triple Lindy.
Well, I know. That I thought about that, but it's just like...
A triple Lindy.
But it's so hard to believe.
Yeah.
You know? I thought, yeah.
I love his stretches.
You know, it's... So, yeah, but I would love to have, you know, maybe Phil Knight. Maybe he could be like the eccentric equipment manager guy. Maybe he's somewhere.
Bill Murray's character is the equipment manager.
That's too obvious, though.
Yeah, but I would go with one too obvious just to throw people off.
Yeah, because I thought about like Bill Murray. You know, there's some really good ones in there. Like I thought about his
Slimer.
Well, Stripes.
We should put the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, I thought about him too. I thought he would be just yeah.
You know, we did a draft one time, and I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, Marshmallow Man's good.
Someone drafted the Sarlacc pit, and just like as maybe a offensive lineman or like a safety.
Wow, that's a good one.
How could you get around it?
But the only problem with the Sarlacc pit, like Audrey too, is it's just the lateral movement. It's stationary.
How do you travel?
Yeah, it's stationary. That's going to be your issue.
You'd only play at home games.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. So so that's going to be your downside.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting if you get comments and everything. It'll be interesting at what other people have to say. Maybe some ideas. Maybe they're going to find the holes in our. Like right now we're looking. It's like you ever like watch the NFL draft and it's all upside and everybody drafts. Everyone's looking at upside. Yeah, and then over time you realize that there are deficiencies. Not everyone is the perfect player. It would be interesting if we get comments and people kind of poke holes in our team and kind of see some of the blind spots that we're not seeing right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? How about this? If you want to listen to it, send me your picks and then tell us how our teams are crap.
Yeah.
But tell us how our teams are crap if you send in your picks. And then Sean and I will look at your picks and then we'll tell you how those are crap.
Not even so much crap. I mean, if you have a good argument as to the holes, like I'm honest with Audrey too. Like
this is the internet.
That's true. You don't need reasons.
But our listeners are smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was glad that you got through an entire podcast without taking a shot at me and Thor Ragnarok. Because it seems like that seems to be like your new like.
That's only when Megan's on.
And it's like so subtle now. Like you say it, and like now it's reached the point that you don't. I'm like the only one that picks up on it when I listen.
You doing it now. You just said.
I was laughing so hard when you did your MCU. No, you did Endgame. And it was a subtle shot. It wasn't even like an over. I was laughing so hard. I was like, this is brilliant.
I still don't buy it. 18. I think in 30 years, right? Mm-hmm. In 30 years. You know how Batman is being looked at now, 30 years later, as just a groundbreaking movie? I don't think any of the MCU movies are going to be looked at in 30 years. I think Thor Ragnarok could be the one that people look at and just fondly remember.
Really?
I don't think they're going to age well. And since it's so saturated, I think since it's different enough, I think it might be the one that's looked at as, like, the most watched.
There is an article that's out right now discussing Star Wars land in Disneyland that was just built, and Disney World is actually shocked that crowds are not nearly as high as they thought they would, and they're trying to figure out reasoning. But there was a very honest article that was written that said, Star Wars is a product of our childhood. The kids today, okay, they got The Force Awakens and they got The Last Jedi, but it's not culturally, it's not part of their childhood. So they're not married to Star Wars the way their parents are. And so when you talk about aging well, it'll be interesting when this generation becomes our age and like their kids, like, oh, you gotta watch Captain America, and we're like, what? Yeah. So it's interesting. I think that some of these generational iconics types of films that we view one way, that next generation, it's just not. I mean, they may go, okay, yeah, that was cool, but it's not like the way you and I. Like, I remember in 1978, I was 8 years old in that summer, and I think I saw Star Wars every day for like a month.
Wow.
Because, well, back then,
8 years old. Yeah.
8, 9 years old whenever it came out. 10 years old whenever I was when it came out. 79, 80, right?
77.
77. And I think every day I begged my parents to take me news. Now remember, we're timing everybody. There was no internet. There was no nothing. It was like, and you would go to a twin theater and see it. So it wasn't like today. But what movie today do kids beg their parents? Pejoratively speaking, I know we got phones and it's a different world, but what movie today do kids just go see over and over and over again? Like they're just married to it. I mean, is there, or are we just oversaturated and there is no such a movie.
If they re-release Roadhouse, kids would go see that a lot.
You think?
No.
Okay, you said it was such a level series. I was like, okay, but I'll be interested in this answer. Okay.
I couldn't think about it. I don't know.
I know. I throw in a.
I think there's a saturated market. I really do. I don't know.
It's weird for me to go see a movie a second time now in the theater.
And as much as I really enjoyed Endgame, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. So you don't want to be watching that every day.
Right.
It's a tough watch every day movie.
I find myself watching 50s movies and 60s movies more than I watch today's movies again. Like I'll watch, like last night, we were watching North by Northwest. I'll watch Rear Window, Vertigo. You throw some of these iconic Casablanca at me, man, I'll sit there and watch it all the time. It's just funny. It's just, but you want to sit down and watch, I don't want to say Ragnarok. Let's pick an MCU movie that's like in the middle.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll sit down. I'm not going to be like jonesing to see it.
I'd watch the movies I watch the most are Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I know you love that movie, man. You and Mo.
They talk about undercarriage, like watching like truth serums. It's weird and it's funny. It's like
and that's where you and Megan like Ragnarok, or maybe it was too much of a psychedelic trip for me.
Yeah.
A little bit. And the other thing about Ragnarok, I will say, which probably affects my when I listed it a little lower, I'm not. I think Mark Ruffalo did probably the best. I'm not a Hulk guy. So Hulk as a character is not someone that overly interests me, and there was a sizable role in Ragnarok for Hulk. So I'm probably somewhat biased a little bit that anything with Hulk I tend to, okay.
Got it. Well,
that said, boy, if we had done an MCU draft, I think we'd be battling for the Hulk as far as the...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would have been the...
Actually, I would just do all the members of X-Con from the Ant-Man movies in a row.
Just...
The entire Ant-Man cast.
Hey, you bring all those ants together, baby.
There's a lot of them.
They can build a mountain.
Billions, trillions.
You can build them. Yeah, you can build a pyramid.
All right, well, hey, thanks for coming back.
Thanks,
Next time we have you on, maybe a Bond film, something like that.
Sure.
We'll do it again. All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Sean Eldershire, this is Movies, Film, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.